Okay, let's talk about a term that's popping up everywhere these days, the AI agent. We're going to break down what it is, what it actually does, and why it's kind of quietly reshaping our world. So let's dive right in. But first, let me ask you a quick question. Have you already spoken with an AI agent today? You might be surprised by the answer, because there's a really good chance you've already interacted with a few without even knowing it. Stick with me, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, let's start with the absolute basics. What is an AI agent? You can forget all the super complicated jargon. The easiest way to think about it is like your own personal, smart digital assistant that's built to get stuff done. At its very core, an AI agent is just a piece of software that can work all by itself. Now, the two words you really got to remember here are autonomously and goal. It doesn't need you or me to babysit it, and its whole reason for existing is to hit a very specific target you've given it. So, what does one of these agents actually do? Well, it kind of boils down to four main jobs. It makes decisions based on the info it has. It solves problems when it runs into a roadblock. It interacts with its surroundings, and that could be anything, a database, a website, or even you. And most importantly, it actually takes action to get closer to finishing its goal. I know. This probably still sounds a little out there. So let's make it real. We're going to look at some examples from everyday life, because like I said, you've definitely already seen these things in action. The most common one is probably sitting in your house right now. You know, when you ask your smart speaker for the weather or to play your favorite song, you're actually giving a goal to an AI agent. It hears your voice, that's the data, and then it takes action by grabbing the forecast or firing up your music app. Here's another classic, the customer service chatbot. You know when you're on a website and that little window pops up asking, "How can I help you?" Yep, that's an agent. Its whole goal is to solve your problem. It gets info by asking you questions, and then it either points you to the right answer, or if it gets stuck, passes you over to a human. But these agents also do some really critical work behind the scenes. In the world of finance, their goal is often fraud detection. They sift through millions of transactions in real time, searching for anything that looks weird, and they can instantly flag it to protect your account. It's pretty amazing. And get this, they're making a huge difference in healthcare too. Picture an AI agent that's been trained to look at medical scans. Its goal is to find tiny, early signs of a disease that a person might easily miss. Now, it's not replacing the doctor, no way. It's acting like a superpowered assistant, giving the doctor a summary so they can make a faster, better diagnosis. Okay, so we've seen what they are and where you can find them. But let's get to the really big question. Why are they becoming so important? Well, it all comes down to the incredible power of smart automation. Let's just put it side by side with a person for a second. Most of us work about 8 hours a day, right? An AI agent is on the clock 24/7. Our performance can change from day to day, but an agent does the same task perfectly every single time. And while we all get distracted, an agent stays laser focused on its goal. The ripple effect from this is just huge. Businesses can make better decisions, they can cut costs, and they can see these massive jumps in productivity. The agents take over all the boring, repetitive stuff, which not only cuts down on human mistakes, but also, and this is my favorite part, it frees up actual people to work on the more creative, strategic, and important stuff. All right, this all sounds great, but how does an agent actually, think? Let's take a quick peek under the hood. It's actually a surprisingly simple and logical three-step process. First, you have to give it a super clear goal. Let's say its goal is to calculate a credit score. Simple enough. Second, you tell it where to find the information it needs, maybe from application forms or bank records or other databases. And third, you tell it how to do the job. It might use a set of rules or maybe run a machine learning model to get the final score and then update the whole system. Goal, information, action. That's it. That's the whole cycle. So after all that, what's the one big idea you should really walk away with? Let's put this all together right now. The most important thing to remember is this. AI agents are autonomous workers. They exist to take care of the boring, tedious, time-sucking tasks that slow us all down. And by doing that, they don't just make things more efficient. They actually unlock human potential, letting us focus on the things that really, truly matter. And that kind of brings us to our final thought. Now that you know what an AI agent is and what it's capable of, just think about your own day for a second. What's one repetitive, time-consuming task in your life, or maybe at your job, that an AI agent could solve for you? The possibilities here are just starting to open up. Thanks for hanging out with me.